YouTube. What's going on? It's your man Mike, Tech King on the budget, back again with another video. You already know what this is. This is another edition of FU Friday. But anyway, what's going on, everybody? It's your man Mike. I'm back with another video, like I said. So, follow-up Friday, S10 Plus. Now, this is the ceramic version. This is the 512 gigabyte version with 8 gigs of RAM. I have had this phone for about a month and a half now. Got these on a BOGO from AT&T. So the wife got the ceramic white, I got the ceramic black. And over the next couple of minutes, I'm not gonna make this a long video, just real simple, real basic. I'm gonna tell you guys why I love this phone, and I'm gonna tell you guys why I hate this phone. So let's get started. So, number one, what I love about this phone, I'm gonna give you 5 things that I like about this phone. First things first, I love the build of this phone. This is one of the I didn't think there was a phone that I would like to build better than the iPhone XS Max, but this is definitely one of them. I love the build of this phone. The overall, just the ceramic back, the aluminum sides, the way that it feels in the hand. You know, I know people don't like to talk about how something feels in the hand. Some people think that's a crazy thing, but for me, that's important to me, because if I'm spending $1,000+ on something, I want it to feel solid. You know, I want it to feel like I ain't got to trip on if it's gonna break or not. And this definitely feels like a device that I don't have to worry about that with. So that's the first thing that I love about this phone. Number two, second thing that I love about this phone is the fact that it has expandable storage and a headphone jack. Now, I'll show you guys that there at the bottom. That's a headphone jack. For those that don't know what it is, that's a headphone jack. So it has a headphone jack. It also has expandable storage up to 1 terabyte, maybe 2 terabytes. Don't quote me on that, but it does have expandable storage. I have a 400 gigabyte micro SD card, and that's enough for me. I saw a good deal on Amazon for a 512 Pro micro SD card for like $180, which is about what I paid for my 400 gigabyte SD card last year. So, you know, might be time to upgrade. I'm not sure, but with 512 gigabytes on board already, I'm not pressed for it. I'm really not. So that's the next thing about this phone that I like. I'm gonna say the third thing that I like about this phone has got to be the battery life. Now, the battery life on the S10 Plus has been pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's phenomenal. It doesn't blow me out of the water or anything, but I will say for what I do with the phone, which is listening to music all day, watching videos, playing games and things like that. You know, like everybody knows, I'm a truck driver. XPO Logistics was good, and essentially, I have moments in the day where I'll be at a shipper, such as today or tomorrow, and I'll be sitting there, just sitting in my truck for like an hour, and you'll see me just, you know, for like an hour, just playing the game on the phone. Other things you might catch me doing, you might catch me looking at a video, you might catch me just plugging up the headphone jack, listening to some music. So I do a lot with my phone, more than I would say the average consumer does. My phone is a lot more than just a pick up and call device. It's a lot more than that. So that's gonna be number 3. The fourth thing I'm gonna go ahead and segue into that I like about this phone is I do like the cameras. Now, I like the wide angle camera. I don't really use the telephoto like that, but I do like the wide angle camera. I'm gonna throw up a couple shots here while I'm talking about it, but I do like the fact that the wide angle camera is something new to Samsung. I do think it adds a new layer of depth to, see what I did there? I do think it adds a new layer of depth to Samsung's repertoire. Repertoire, is that, you know, when it comes to their devices. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with the Note 10 now that they've added the wide angle feature onto the phones, because I mean, LG started it. You know, I mean, the wide angle on my G8 is awesome. It's really amazing, but it is nice to see that Samsung is adopting it. I also have it on the Mate 20 Pro. Don't have that in front of me at the moment. It's on the charger, but you know, that is something that I do enjoy. And the last thing I'm going to say has, guess what? You guessed it, the screen. Now listen, man, this screen is beautiful. Okay, it's beautiful. Samsung every year consistently kills the game with these screens. Now, I don't have a fancy setup. I usually just put the apps that I use the most wherever I can get to them, and that's the end of it. But I'm still kind of setting this up how I may like to use it, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm still on the fence right now. I'm kind of like, I'm not sure if I want to keep it. You know, I like the G8, and so far the more I use the G8, the more that I find myself leaning away from my Mate 20 Pro. But for what you get with this device, I don't know, man. It's a banger. But that leads me to talk about 5 things that I don't like about the S10 Plus. So let's talk about that. So, number 1 of the things that I don't like about the S10 Plus, battery life. Yes, you might be asking yourself, but Mike, you said the battery was good. I'm confused. And I'm gonna answer it. Battery life is good on this device, but the thing is, for me, I'm in a truck all day, people. I have chargers all around me. I don't have to worry about the battery dying because I got a USB-C charger in the front of the truck for my phone and my iPad, and I got a USB-C charger in the back of the truck in my bunk area. So I'm good. I don't need a charger. But here's the deal. When I did use this phone, when I did say, I made a run a couple days ago. I drove down to Orlando, Florida, dropped the trailer, picked up an empty one, and drove back home. 2.5 hours back up to Jacksonville. 5 hours of driving on 100% battery. This phone was down to 25% by the time I came home. Now that is off and on of the screen. Occasionally changing a YouTube video that I was listening to in the background, or that was just listening to music off of Google Play Music. So very minimal things that I was doing that the battery seemed to not perform like I wanted it to. Now I will note, I did have the settings on the Quad HD, WQHD. I did have the brightness all the way up when I was looking at a video. So those things did attribute to it as well. But here's the deal though. I don't feel like we should spend all the money that we spend on these phones to not use them for their full extent. What's the purpose in spending $1,000+ on a device that has a Quad HD 4K display and all these other beautiful features when it comes to the HDR of the display, but you're not gonna use them? You might as well stick with the budget phone or stick with a lower tier phone if that's the case, because this is not the phone for you. If you don't really care like that, they put those features in the phone for you to be able to use them. So that's the first thing that I don't like about this phone. The second thing that I don't like about this phone is I don't like the phantom touches. Now, listen. I understand that I can download Good Lock. I have Good Lock. I understand that there are apps that are meant to stop that from happening. But people, the curved display, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's getting played out. Me personally, I'm starting to not be a fan of these curved edges. Now, on the Note 9, I digged it because the way that the bezels were on the Note 9, the way that everything shaped up on it, there was a little bit of a grip before that. But as you can see, I'm just kind of gripping the phone and I'm hitting my phone dialer. You can see my finger is nowhere near it, but I'm touching the phone dialer. Now, you shouldn't have to download an app. You shouldn't have to do anything to fix what should already be done. That's just my opinion. Samsung Knights might come for me on that one, but that's just my opinion. That's the same thing as shout out to Technically T. He said it on one of his videos, I believe either a video or a tweet a while back. That's like people going and spending $1,000 on the V40 or the S10 or the S10e or any Android phone, and then downloading the Google Camera app to make the camera better. Stop handicapping the device. Stop using apps to make up for a device's shortcoming. If the device doesn't have a good camera, say it. Don't say, yeah, the camera's not that good, but when I download this app though, no, we should not be comfortable spending $500 or more on a device and downloading an app to make up for its shortcomings. That's a no-go. It's a no-go. So that brings me to number 3. The third thing that I don't like about this phone is I have a lot of issues with notifications on this phone. Now, I'm gonna say it like this right here. I have every single account set up on this G8 the same way that I have set up on this S10 Plus, right? Why is it that I get a notification on the G8? I get a notification on the iPhone that's recording this video. Both of them pop up at the same time. The Samsung phone doesn't do anything. I unlock the phone, still doesn't do anything. Maybe 30 seconds to a minute later, all of a sudden I get bzz, 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 bunch of notifications coming down, and I'm just kind of like, I've already looked at these. I don't understand what's going on. I've already opened the Facebook app and saw the notification. I've already opened the Twitter app and saw the notification, but they still come back to back to back to back to back. I don't know what's going on with that, Samsung. You might need to check that out. I don't know if anybody else is having that problem. Let me know in the comments below if you are on your Samsung device, but anyway. All right, so fourth thing that I do not like about this device is I do not like the simple fact that when it comes to cases for this device. Now I've gone online and I looked at a lot of cases. Now me personally, as I said 1,000 times, and I will always say 1,000 times, because as many people who watch my videos, people still don't know, I drive trucks for a living. I go to locations that have construction sites nearby. I've been to places where I couldn't bring any type of technology inside because of the particles in the air. I mean, before I bought my semi truck, I was a yard driver moving trailers around a paper mill. So I deal with dirty environments in and out of my truck. It is what it is. I mean, hell, the yard that my truck is parked at is a dirt yard. So there's no getting around the fact that I'm gonna find some type of dirt on the yard or around me, period. You know, so what I'm trying to say, is this. I don't like the fact that the in-display fingerprint scanner cannot be used with the case with the screen protector. What's the purpose in making a phone that you can buy a case online on Amazon, like a Sup case or Armadillo Tech or anything like that, where you can have a case with a screen protector on it, and it defeats the purpose of being able to use one of the major selling points of the phone? Which brings me to the last thing that I do not like about this phone: the in-display fingerprint scanner. Now, I believe that's number 5. If it's not, I'm going to go ahead and add another one in there, the Face ID. Now, here's the deal. I like Face ID. I really do. I think it's pretty cool that I can just kind of lift my phone up. I'm going to show you guys on camera here. I like the fact that I can just lift the phone up and just... See that? That is pretty dope to me that I have the ability to do that. However, I don't like the fact that Samsung took away the iris scanner to do that. Now, I was a fan of the iris scanner. I thought it was a very secure feature. The same way I was a fan of, I am a fan of Face ID on the iPhone. The same way I'm a fan of Face ID on this G8, which is actually pretty dope. But the thing is, the in-display fingerprint scanner, I had to put my finger in 3 different times to be able to get it to measure and read the way that I wanted it to. Now, there are people out there with the whole videos on tips and tricks and hacks and things like that of how to make it work better. But the bottom line is, people, I'm kind of moving away from these in-display scanners. I know they're the future. I know it's going to happen. But in my experience, sure, this one is more secure, but give me an optical one. It's a lot faster. Get it done and get it over with. And I don't like the fact that with this one, I gotta sometimes press harder. I gotta adjust the way I press it. As you can see, no match. I just pressed it in the same spot and no match. So that's one of the things about this device that I don't like. Now, with that said, would I recommend this device to somebody? I would recommend this device to somebody if you're coming from an S8. If you have a Note 8 or a Note 5 and you realize that you don't really use the S Pen that much, this is innovation. This is the next big thing. Samsung, that's what Samsung says. This is the next thing that you should upgrade to. Now, I would also recommend possibly looking at the S10e. I didn't get a chance to have that one. I will shoot you to a couple of channels that I think you guys can check out to make a decision on the S10e. Jay Will, Technically T, Ace Lucero, the Tech Leads. There are quite a few people out there who have the S10e that I will gladly leave links to their channels below in the description that I think you guys who watch this video should go check out if you're interested in the lower tier S10 phone this year. But for me personally, I would only recommend this phone if you're upgrading from a Samsung phone that's at least a year or 2 behind. Otherwise, if you have an S9 Plus, if you have a Note 9, there's no reason for you to get this phone. None at all. So, with that said, what am I going to do with the phone? I don't know. If you follow me on Twitter, which you should be, it's Tech King Mike, Tech_King_Mike. Check me out there. You'll probably get an update there before you guys get an update here on YouTube. But with that being said, this is FU Friday with the Galaxy S10 Plus. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I will check you guys out in the next one. Next Friday, we're going to be doing the sleeper. Now, I haven't put too many more videos out about this one since I got it. You guys get ready for quite a few videos on this one next week, because now that I'm done with the S10 Plus, this one's on the hot seat. And I gotta tell you, night and day. It's your man Mike. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.